Thanks, guys. It's Family Weekend this weekend, and inside Kinnick Stadium, Iowa will be taking on the Northwestern Wildcats for the annual America Needs Farmers game.
That's right, Chelsea. Now let's take a look at some of the Cats' key players in this week's By the Numbers. The Northwestern Wildcats are coming into the game with a 3-4 record and 2-2 in Big Ten action, dropping their last two matches against Minnesota and Nebraska. Both teams also coming off losses in bye weeks, as Iowa fell to Maryland 2 Saturdays ago. Iowa is just one game away from securing bowl eligibility, but getting their starts with the win over the Cats.
You know, like I said, every team, they're going to be tough, and from here on out, there's going to be no easy games, and everybody's coming to play because everybody has a point to prove. Magnify just because it's the next game. You know, the next game, you know, this is the game we have to worry about. That's the biggest game we're going to have this season so far. And then we'll deal with the biggest game next week, you know, depending on how this week goes.
Both teams displaying a strong running back core, with Northwestern's Dan Vitale matching Iowa's Damon Bullock's talent as a top pass-catching back. Vitale has 26 receptions, which ranks third among Big Ten backs, Bullock close behind with 25. But the Wildcats have another star running back in Justin Jackson. The true freshman comes into the game with 3 consecutive 100-yard rushing games, averaging 90 rushes per game, ranks as 6th best per game in the country by a freshman running back.
We thought he's a really good player, high school player, and he's proven that right now. He's a good football player, very dangerous.
Northwestern also proficient on holding on to the ball, being one of only 15 teams in the country to have lost only 2 or fewer fumbles on the season. The Hawks have lost control of the ball 6 times.
You know, it sounds pretty basic, but they're very well coached. They don't try, in my opinion, they don't try to do too much. They play with really good technique. They're very well coached at all positions.
The Iowa offense will be met by junior cornerback Nick Van Hoos, who continues to lead the Big Ten with 11 passes defended. The Wildcats defense as a whole is only allowing 20 points a game.
I think a lot of people will make the mistake of, you know, maybe living in the past. I mean, since '95, these guys have been really good.
Under Ferentz, Northwestern has won 7 of the last 13 meetings. And overall, Iowa leads the series 48-24.
With Iowa and Illinois being border states, you would think each team shares players from each state, but interestingly enough, they do not.
On the current Northwestern roster, 0 players are Iowa natives, compared to Iowa's whopping 19 coming from the land of Lincoln. That's the most Iowa receives from any outside state.
Also, another interesting fact, Jalen, is that Northwestern's running back, Justin Jackson, is actually from Carroll Stream, Illinois. He was heavily recruited by Kirk Ferentz's squad, but obviously stayed in his home state of Illinois. And with 3 Hawkeyes gone from the depth chart this weekend, some players are having to step up.
Daily Iowan TV sports reporter Whitney Blakemore caught up with one of those leaders, captain and linebacker Quentin Alston. Whitney?
Hey guys, I'm here with linebacker Quentin Alston, and Quentin, you're going to be without linebacker Reggie Spearman for the next 2 games. So how are you going to adjust to that loss?
Well, all the linebackers in this linebacking core, we're pretty much cut from the same cloth. So we're all smart, all physical, and we have very high knowledge of assignment. So regardless of who they put on the field, we're just going to trust our coaches to put us in the right, positions to make plays, the right schemes to make plays, and just trust the guys next to us. So it just comes back down to playing fundamental, basic defense and just that trust factor.
And now Northwestern ranks 5th in the Big Ten in red zone conversion percentage. How do you guys plan to stop the Cats once they get inside that 20?
We need all 11 hats to the ball. It just can't be 9, it can't be 10, and just I'll take that as my responsibility. I'm the leader in this team. I'm the senior. I'm the captain. So I just got to make sure everybody, we have no plays off. We got to focus for the whole 60 minutes and ultimately come out here with a win. So it just takes from the top down, and I just got to make sure I'm on these guys to stay on it each and every play. So we need that energy all 60 minutes.
And finally, traditionally it's been close games against Northwestern. What is it about the Wildcats that makes this such a difficult series?
They remind me a lot of ourselves. They're really fundamentally sound very, basic, but they're really hard-nosed, hard-working team. So it just comes down to who does the little things right, and the little things that will make you a great team. So we're just going to, play fundamental defense and hopefully come out here with a win.
All right, well, thank you so much, and back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for that, Whitney.
And Iowa Women's Basketball Media Day took place earlier today at Carver Hawkeye Arena. The Hawks, who went 27-9 last season, have been ranked 19th in the preseason Associated Press Top 25.
Head coach Lisa Luter talked expectations and excitement about the capability of this team.
I'm hopeful that something special is going to happen with this group of women. I think they're an extraordinary group, and as you all know, we returned 4 starters from last year's team that won 27 games. And it's not just that we return 4 starters that creates our optimism, but it's the quality of those starters that gets us really excited.
With a strong group of returners, Bluter said one senior has set herself apart of the pack as being a leader for the team.
We're led by our 4-year starting point guard, Sam Logic. No one in the league and maybe in the country has as much experience leading their basketball team than Sam. She's the nation's best returning assist playmaker. She led our team and the Big Ten in assists. She already owns the Iowa assist record with a whole season remaining.
And Logic recognizing what it takes to be considered a leader, a role she exemplifies.
I mean, just to be a good leader, you have to set a good example. I mean, you have to set a standard, you have to hold yourself to a standard, and you have to hold your teammates to a standard. But with that, you have to have the trust and respect of your teammates, and you have to have some fun with them, obviously. And that, like I said, they're not too hard to have some fun with. They make that pretty easy.
The Hawks start action on November 9th at home to face St. Ambrose in their season opener.
But that'll do it for us in this week's pregame show. Be sure to check out the print edition and pregame in tomorrow's Daily Iowan,
as well as our blog at dailyiowans.sports.com for all your live updates from Kinnick Stadium.
Greta and Nick, back to you at the desk.